there's like a horrible echo. This is all very new for me, so I've never done this before, but we will see how it goes. All right. So hopefully this is better. I don't know what was going on. I've never done this before, but that was the worst lag ever. So if you logged on and heard that, I'm so sorry, but hello, welcome to Eileen Stuffs. We are in my studio today. I have a bunch of stuff that I wanted to play around with, and so I thought it would be fun to just do it on camera. I will at some point try to switch the camera view, but the saddest thing is right before I hit live, my whole stand broke. So it's one of those adjustable stands that can go from like 12 inches to 84 inches. And basically right before I try to hit record, it all fell down, including the thing that tilts the phone. I was like, I kind of was wondering if something was going to happen, and it did. So I'm just hoping that this will work. I'm also on my computer right here, so I can see the chat while I'm talking. But I just thought it'd be fun. So I think I did, I'll link all the stuff below after the live, but I did create a new studio. I expanded it, and I am looking to start creating actual products for my shop. So it's kind of a big deal. It's a big change, and I have been doing so much research the past couple weeks, trying to figure out what to do and how to do it. I think something for me that's been kind of hard is I've gotten a lot of requests for mini versions of my savings challenges, because I just do letter size right now, which I've now learned is basically the equivalent of what they would call an A4. And I feel like every different source I find, like online, I watch people's videos, everyone always gives different measurements. So I think that's been the first thing. So if you make videos or and you have any idea of measurements, please put it in the comments, because one of the things I want to do today is I actually have a bunch of measurements listed out, and I am going to make like templates. Also, this is thank you to Nan's Budget. Now, if you don't know Nan's Budget, I did do a video showing a Happy Mail that she sent me, but she told me about vellum paper, which I had never known about before. So this was my first attempt at making some envelope labels on vellum paper. I hope there's a bit of a lag between my computer and my phone, so it's hard to tell. I think it's off, so I'm sorry. But she told me about this. So I'm going to try 3 different kinds of ways to use the vellum. So the top, I'm going to use the whole vellum thing as an envelope. And then the middle, I wanted to try with images to see how that would turn out. And then the bottom, I'm just going to cut out, because I also thought about using the vellum just to make the labels. So I could do customized labels for envelopes, but they could be printed out in vellum. So there was a little bit of kind of like a background from the envelope so you could see the name. So those were 3 different ideas I've had, and yeah, I don't know where to get started. I think that I was trying to see, I'm just going to put in the chat and see if it is working for me. I think I'm so used to filming videos with the camera on my hands. This is like a different beast right now, but it's kind of fun. Okay, and I'm kind of hot, so I'm going to turn my heat off maybe real quick. And somebody asked for Riley, but okay. So to get started, I would love to know what you guys are interested in as far as products. So if anyone's really wanting or wishing for something different, like savings challenges that come in different formats, or envelopes that are a little different, different customizations, different type of packups. For example, maybe a binder with some envelopes and customized labels, or maybe a binder with savings challenges. Please, again, list all this in the comments because I would love to know to kind of create what you guys want. Okay, so I'm going to try to move the table a little closer because I wanted you guys to kind of get to see me, because you never get to see me, and also see what I'm working on. And then if that's not working, we'll switch at some point. But I think to start, I'm going to show you some of the things that I've been working on. And I've been really looking forward to the envelopes. So we'll jump in to the different styles that I have been reviewing. And then hi to everyone that's watching. Please, if someone can you type in the text box? Because I can't tell if the text box is working or not. Oh, I see it. Hello. Hello, this blonde life. Okay, so I see, oh, hi. Okay, is that Jada? Hi. Okay, so that's working. That's awesome. Okay, this is like, yeah, it's just kind of weird. So some of the things I've been working on is I have spent the past couple weekends making little thank you cards for orders. And so this was the first trial and error process I did. So I'll kind of zoom in so you can see it. And again, there's a lag on my computer, so I'm going to sit here for a second. I'm going to get the hang of this. Okay. So they're just little thank you for shopping Eileen Stuffs cards. They have my email on it. Although a very close friend that helps me with my website pointed out I used my Gmail address and not my new web address. So I do have a website now. It's still in the baby phases, but I'll type it here. So my website is eileenstuffs.com. Again, it's still baby there. I don't even have any pictures of me up yet, but we did finally launch it. There's also still some test articles on there because we were testing to make sure the articles work. So you can ignore that. But basically the website's going to be a place where you can contact me if you're interested in me reviewing any of your products. If you have a YouTube channel and you'd like to collaborate. If you just have a YouTube channel and you'd like me to kind of talk about you, that's, it's kind of the goal is for a place for budgeters, YouTuber budgeters, people that like budgeting, all of that to come together. So I really love doing reviews. I love supporting other YouTubers, especially so many of you budgeters are just so creative and I've learned from so many of you. So I thought that'd be like, I'd like to pay it forward that way so there is that form on the homepage of the website that you can contact me if you'd like me to review anything you have, and we'll get that going. There's also going to be articles. So I am a writer. I've always been a writer. So I'm going to start writing more about budgeting related stuff, about my debt journey, about my process. And the other part of that is I also like reading. So I really have been, now that things in my life have really settled down, I can kind of move forward and just kind of think about the next steps in my life. And I think something I want to learn is I want to learn more about money. So I've thought about doing like a book club page where we could look at a different finance or money book once a month, read it, maybe we could do a video about it and just kind of learn about money a little. So that's something that will be on the website. The other thing that's currently being coded is a shop. So the shop is probably going to take a while, but eventually all this stuff that I'm making will be directly available from my website. But the shop is still in progress. But it is there. So like I said, it's kind of in its infant stages right now, but the plan is for it to grow. All right. And so that was the first thing with this was once the website was up, I was like, all right, it is time to make things and get stuff ready to go. So number one was the thank you cards. So if you ever make stuff like this, I have discovered, this was kind of my first discovery of trial and error. So what I did this time, and again, I'll kind of show you up close, is I just printed it out in regular paper, and then I thought, oh, I'll laminate it and then it'll have like a thicker consistency. So I printed it, I cut the corners, I laminated it in matte because I really like the matte finish, and then I have to cut the corners again. I do like the way it looks, but I think it kind of made me realize that, was this necessary? Because it was just an extra step. It took days to make these. And the funny thing is I'm still not done. I still have to clip the corners, and that was probably something I was going to do while I was talking today. But then I thought, why didn't I just use cardstock? Because I looked at my printer, and I think my printer actually did pretty good printing the vellum, so I think it'll probably print cardstock. So the first batch, if you do one of the first batch of orders, once everything is out, I think there's like 60 of these, you'll get kind of the original matte laminate old email, but then from there I'm going to try different things. So I started looking at cardstock. Even I thought about printing these on vellum paper, just so it was just something different from regular paper. Oh, thank you, this Mama Trace. Yeah, I'm excited too. I think you guys kind of know that. I think if you've been watching me for a while, you kind of know my story. You know, I've been going through a divorce, and me and my ex-husband actually lived together for the past 2 years. After there's like a whole thing with the divorce, so it's been a long time, and now this is my second month finally being alone, and it's just, I think it just allows, you know, it's a better situation, and I think it just allows me to kind of be free in my home. And this is just something I've been wanting to do ever since I started my channel, but it was just kind of awkward because I never knew when he would come into the house or come upstairs. And so, I mean, he's moved on, I moved on. I think it's good, it's healthy, but definitely, yeah, I'm excited too because I just feel like in a way I kind of got my life back. I don't know how to say. Oh, that's not weird to say, but it definitely allows me to feel more. It was kind of what allowed me to, this room that I'm in was my living room because there's another living room downstairs that he had, but since he's moved out, I've actually been able to turn downstairs into a den, so that's where my TV is now. That's where I go to hang out, play video games, stuff like that. And this room can now become my studio, so that's kind of what allowed me to create this space and get it all going. So good things. I'm going to move, okay. I'm going to move this a little bit closer. Like I said, this is my first time ever going live, so we're kind of trial and error here. All right, so that was, again, number one. I know I'm kind of going back and forth. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to see what you guys are saying as well. The first big item that I have made that is almost done and ready for sale is the $100 placeholders. So I have been working on these for a couple weekends now. So as you see, they're still not quite done. I'll just kind of fade them out. But I really like realistic placeholders. So I wish I could find other denominations that look this realistic. So I would just make a whole set of 100, 500, 1,000. I've been looking and I can't. So if you've seen something like this, that's not like copyrighted, because I've found like $500 image front and back, but it was copyrighted, so I don't want to get into all that. But that's the front. And again, I'm going to wait a second because there's a bit of a lag. As you can see, it has my Eileen Stuffs logo on it, and it's a $100 placeholder. I did use matte finish, and then on the back, I found like a realistic backing. All right, so those are the $100 ones, and they're not quite done yet, but as you can see, there's quite a lot. I don't know if I have like maybe 50 or 60 of these as well. So I've been trying to think about, I've been looking online at how people sell, because I want to match pricing and I want it to be affordable. So I have pretty much been poor my whole life, and I now am obviously learning how to deal with money, because I never learned how to deal with money. And this is all to say that I'm very, I think I'm almost hyper aware of money and how much things cost. And so kind of my goal is to be able to make budgeting products that are high quality, nice. I mean, they're going to be homemade, right? So there's going to be like, you know, who knows, here and there. But overall, I just want to make really beautiful, wonderful custom products that are affordable. And I don't necessarily like, for me, this is just fun. I've always been artistic, so I like doing stuff like this. And so I'm not, I guess like for me, it's not, this isn't really like profit driven. It's more like, for me, it's kind of, YouTube's still a hobby. I love doing this stuff, and it's kind of, it's like I said, it's fun. It kind of gets out my creative side. And I would love to be able to kind of pass it on to you guys as far as offering packages that are a good balance between what you get and the money, and then what I pay for materials, if that makes sense. So I haven't quite figured out, I thought about doing these $100 bills in a pack of 10, And then I debated like $1 each, and then I'm like, I don't know. But I have kind of seen online the going rate. So I'm thinking maybe I can offer different things. Like maybe I could do some kind of a sale thing where you can do like a pack of 5 for $5, or you could do a pack of 10 for $8. So you get more, you save a little money, and it seems like a good value. But these are almost done and ready to go. I haven't decided if I'm going to start just with this launch or wait for all my other products. Okay, so that's what I have so far. Now let's get into kind of what I wanted to do today. Is I just wanted to explore with you guys, because I have spent almost the whole week. I've been watching videos, I've been reading articles, I've been watching like what other YouTubers do as far as what they're creating, what's out there, and I think I've come up with multiple styles of how to create cash envelopes and measurements, which are still throwing me off. So if any of you like has a good idea of like what, because I know, you know, the A6 is kind of this, oh, actually let me grab mine so you guys can see it. Okay, so I think you guys can see behind me, that's actually where I film. That's my little table where I film, and then that's kind of the bookshelf that I have been able to put stuff on. And then we're just relaxing today at my house. Riley's currently sitting on the couch right there watching me, and I know that there was some requests to show her, which I was planning on, but now I'm scared I'm scared to touch my ring light because I'm afraid it's going to collapse on me, because the stand is like okay right now, but you guys, my stand started like full inch and now it's this short sitting on a bench. So I'm a little scared to move it. I think it was Jeanette that wanted to see Riley, so she's there. Maybe at some point she'll come wandering. All right, anyway, envelopes is what we're talking about. Okay, so I know these are the standard A6 size. So this is actually that beautiful motor one that Nan's Budget sent me as a Happy Mail. So again, Nan's Budget, it was such a great gift. And these are, I think, are pretty typical A6 size. So for those, the best measurement, I found 2 different measurements for A6. One I found 3.7, and then another one I found 6.5 times 4.1. So that's, you know, I was like, I don't know. For me, I like to like, if I have exact measurements, if I know what I'm doing, then I can like bust stuff out really fast. But if I'm really unsure about what size to make things, then I kind of get stuck and then I procrastinate, and then something I would have done in a weekend takes me like 5 months. That's kind of how I am, and I think that's kind of what happened with me with this and creating smaller savings challenges, is because I got so stuck on what the measurement should be. I didn't know what to do, and then I didn't do anything. So that's kind of a meme. That's kind of a, I think, a personal problem, which is again part of, I want to like figure it out today and get it done so we can move on. And again, so this is another, you know, these are both A6. I really love envelopes that have like just, you know, kind of a classic envelope with the top. And I was actually going to try to make this today, see if I could figure out how to make this. So my plan is I'm going to take these envelopes that I know are good size for the A6, and I'm going to try to replicate them with all the different patterns and designs I have. So I'm going to take one of those out. And this one came with homemade ones. I don't know where, because again, this was a gift, but you know, you can see how this would be one that doesn't have, I don't know, what am I blank? I keep wanting to call it a lid. The envelope top. I don't know why I'm blanking on what that's called. But so this would be another version, I think, of a very popular cash envelope where it's just made. You can open it up, slip money in. This one's designed for the label to come out, so you could even, you know, if you didn't want this, I guess you could put your own sticker on. So this is a different dimension. Same binder size though. We're still talking A6 here. And when I measure them up, we can see that there is a difference in size on the outside, but I feel like that probably has more to do with the laminating than anything else why it's different. And then if you line up the holes, you can see the plastic one is also bigger, a little bit bigger lengthwise and a little bit bigger widthwise. But I think maybe that might be the difference of finding one that's 3 by 7 or finding one that's 6.5 by 4.1, right? Because those measurements aren't too far off, but we do see a difference in cash envelopes for the same size binders. So that is one thing to consider. And then I do have a third size for A6, which was these. And these actually came with my Savion wallet that I've been using, gosh, for over 2 years now, and it's falling apart. And I think like I was talking about in a video, wanting to do like a whole wallet binder review. So that's just going to be like buying the stuff. But anyway, so you can see same thing, A6, it's got the A6 holes, but when we match it up, it still is again a different size. So this one, maybe I should line it up with the holes, just so you can kind of see where it would go in the binder and what it would actually look like. So again, there's a delay, so I'm holding it up to my phone and I'm looking in my computer. But you can see again, this is actually, whoa, sorry guys. I'm gonna stay there for a second. Thanks for bearing with me if you are. All right, so we can see that all the way around this one, the Savion envelope is smaller than this one, even though the holes line up, so it's still A6. And then this one was the biggest one, so I'm just kind of curious. So I think my conclusion on the sizing of envelopes, as far as being able to make them and, make them worthy enough to sell and to make sure they fit in people's binders, is you can have a little variation in size. And I'm kind of wondering if maybe it's just kind of what people, because these are all different store-bought ones, so maybe each company has their own measurements. I'm trying to keep that steady, but just so you can see, when I compare it to the plastic one, it's way smaller. And they both fit $1. These actually fit the dollars pretty nicely, but there's not a lot of wiggle room, where something like this would have more wiggle room. So my conclusion is, when it comes to making envelopes, you are going to find different sizings. And again, we're still just talking A6. I haven't even gotten into A7 yet, but we can see that there is a big difference. And I think the most important thing is your money fits, and it fits the holes, and it's basically an A6 size. Because I don't think you'd want to go any bigger than this. I feel like then you'd start running the risk of it being a little too big for your binder to close, especially if you have a zipper set. So my thought was, I actually, for my wallet, which my wallet is also A6, I love the smaller ones, but for like my sinking funds, I found that I love the bigger ones. So I'm kind of thinking of one of the things I'm going to do is maybe offer A6 in all these sizes, since they seem to be sizes that are made for A6. So if you prefer a smaller one or a bigger one, that might be an option on the shop. That was kind of my conclusion, is you got to get the holes right. You don't want to have it too small. You don't want to have it too big. But within that, we got about almost a 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch wiggle room. Yeah, I would measure the size of the prop money and make the envelopes a hair longer. Yeah, very smart. And actually, I have my prop money right here, so let's see how it looks. That was, so I have like my standard, and this is, I basically measured this to a standard bill size, but we can see it fits in the smallest one very well, and there's plenty of room for the holes, so it's not going to cause any problems with the binding. And like I said, that looks pretty nice. So I think if you like it snug. And then this is the medium size, which this size is very standard. I got these binders, just on Amazon, and they, they're just kind of like, I have some back there, but I have one of these in blue, white, and black. They're the same. I just got different colors, and they came with these. So for these are like your medium size. So let's see how the dollar looks. And actually, as you can, I don't know, you can't even see the dollar from up there. So it's actually very, very roomy. And I'll do it this way. So you can see there's plenty of room for that dollar to come in and out. So just kind of match it from the outside. The dollar is super loose in that envelope. So again, if you like a little bit more room for your money, this would probably be the size you wanted. If you like it to be snug, this will be the size you'll go for. And we're gonna make templates of all these and measure them. And then this is the biggest one, so I think we can assume it's just gonna be bigger. But I'm gonna put it in through the back so we can see it through the plastic. Again, the money holder fits nicely in here, and because it is bigger, it's got plenty of room. So if you really just like having that extra space, like look at all that room around it, then this would be the big size for you. All right, so that's the envelopes. So we're gonna play with 3 different sizes, different methods and patterns. And the other thing is I do have some budget sheets. So if you use these budget sheets, they, you know, kind of the same thing. They also come in different sizes. So I believe these came with my wallet and they're small, but it makes sense because as we talked about, my envelope is small. So when it goes in, it fits pretty nicely. And these, I believe, came with like these ones. Oh no, these ones. And I had to trim them down. So this was years ago, I think, that I made when I made my envelope cash binder video, and I was like putting everything together, labeling them. On the video, you can see that I spent some time cutting them. All right, so, oh my gosh, you guys. Oh, someone's from the Philippines. Sorry, I just tried to see your name and it zoomed by, but hi from the Philippines. I tried to time this for after the eclipse. The eclipse was supposed to be very visible here where I live, and I've been kind of peeking, and like I would use those for long-term sinking funds and the smaller ones for everyday use. Yeah, definitely. I think that's kind of the way it goes. But let's make templates, and that way you guys can see, and then I'm gonna make these just as an option choice for the envelopes because it's easy enough to make the same styles envelopes but just vary the sizing. But that's kind of what we're gonna do today. So first was, and I haven't even gotten to A7 yet, like I said, but I did get the A7 size as 5 by 3.31. So if that sounds right to you, let me know. If you've heard something different, let me know. It is 2 a.m. in the Philippines, Gary. Wow. Am I married? No, I'm actually divorced. I'm single. I've been single for about 2 years now. I was married, but not anymore. And then I got a large mini as 3.9 by 3, and then a mini size as 3.54 by 2.6. So this is all the measurements in inches. If you guys like, again, if you've made these and you have any other ideas, that's basically what I was able to come up with online. All right, let's get into the fun part because I feel like I've talked enough. And oh, are you making stationery notebooks? No, we're just playing around. So I am trying to learn how to make things. My plan today was to just sit in my studio and try to make cash envelopes and just kind of play around with stuff. I have different types of paper to play with. So I figured I might as well just go live and do it because I've never done this before and I thought it would just be fun, especially because some of you always have the best ideas in the comments, and I thought it'd be fun to be able to interact with you real time. However, I did know that I realized after I set this up that I did it for the eclipse. So I was like checking online, like, is the eclipse going to be over by the time I do this? And I think it is. Oh, thank you. All right. So let's see. We got the big one. We got the small one. Let me grab the medium one. And we need to measure, and I am so sad to say, I told myself 5 times to bring a ruler, and I did not bring a ruler. So if you guys don't mind, I might go grab my ruler. I'll be back in 1 minute. I would turn you to Riley, but that might not work. All right, you guys, thank you for waiting. I also forgot paper, so I just like ran up and down the stairs. This house is like built on a hill and it's multi-level, so there's just like a house of stairs. Okay, so I think the first step is like I said, we're gonna make the templates, and I'm just going to trace them on paper and then I'll measure them. Like, where's my marker? It's behind me. It also occurred to me as I ran upstairs that I could have just used the ruler. I have a ruler on my cinch and a ruler on my paper cutter. But all right, so let's go ahead and do this. I think you guys can see okay. Hey, Yvette, you made it. Never give up. I don't know what those images are, but they're really cute that you're putting on there. Okay. I'm not going to include that tab. I'm just gonna, but I think you guys can see me okay. Oh, okay. I don't know why I'm so nervous to trace some lines. You know, this is kind of the equivalent when you were in school and you had to give a presentation in front of the class. Do you guys like remember that? That's like legit how I feel right now. I remember in my English class in 7th grade, we all had to recite Shel Silverstein poems. Do you guys remember Shel Silverstein? And I just remember being so nervous. I forgot the poem. And I did really bad. I didn't like plan anything good. And I froze. I'll just never forget that. So that's kind of what this is. This is the kind of vibes I'm getting right now with like your first YouTube live. All right, I'm going to use the line to fix that. I hope this camera angle is okay. Like I said, you guys are used to seeing me straight down without me at all, but you know, I think you're getting the best of both worlds. All right, so this is what I'm going to put as the smallest A6. So far it looks like this. And it actually, even though it looks so small in hand, it looks so much bigger on paper. Is that coming through? Okay. So the next one is the medium. Again, right now, if you just joined, we're making templates of the different A6 sizes, because I kind of just went on a whole ramble about trying to figure out dimensions for A6, A7, for envelopes and binders and savings challenges, and then I always find different amounts. But I've kind of concluded there's the variation. So right now we're making a template for 3 variations of A6 binders. And then A7, I just have one, a large mini, I have a mini, and then I have an A5 too, but do people use A5s? A5s is like a little smaller than a standard, right? Like 8 by 11, I guess, in the States, or 8 by 11.5. No, 8.5 by 11. All right, so this is our medium. Let me focus. And I'm going to put the holes because I think it'll be cool to have the hole marker, because I do not have a 6-hole punch. I have a cinch. So something else we're going to try today is I have a guide for using the cinch as a hole punch for these type of things. So I thought I'd try it out, see how it goes. All right, so this one we're just going to call the medium A6. And we'll get those measurements, and then one more, we gotta do the large A6, which is again this biggest one that came in this one is the one that came in the Moturn binder that Nan's Budget sent to me as Happy Mail, which really was pretty cool. All right, so let's measure this one out. I'm also including the holes so I can tell like the total amount that I need with holes. So that, I should probably make a marker though, maybe, especially for this one, because you can kind of see where it stopped right there. Right, so this would be, oh, hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. All right, so this would be our large A6. Now let's measure and see what the difference is, and then we're gonna get started with our envelopes. All right, I tape measure. I don't it's ironic because I literally have 3 rulers at work. Because I don't know if you guys know, but I'm an occupational therapist and I work in pediatrics. So I work with kids. I have a ton of school supplies at work, including a hole puncher, which I forgot to bring home. I thought about on Friday I should grab it. And I have multiple rulers and I forgot them. Like, you know, just basic, like your basic wooden ruler. So all that stuff is just sitting in my office. That's all I can think of. All right. So smallest A6. The length is literally 6.5, like to a T. So we'll do 6.5. And my guess is it's probably going to be about 3. Yeah, because unless this one is the 4.1 version. But top to bottom, it's actually 3.75. Interesting. Because like I said, the measurements I found were either 3 by 7 or 6.5 by 4.1. And this one just blew them both out of the water. So this one measures in at 6.5 in length, 3.75. That will be an option. And will fit your bills nice and snug. Might be really nice for your wallet, or as someone mentioned, daily use. Oh, Yvette, no. Actually, after this, I'm going to be filming my YouTube audit. I'm kind of scared, but I've been like working extra. I think I've been working extra for the past 3 weeks. I took on my coworker's case, some of her caseload, because she went on vacation, so I picked up extra work. So I've literally been working all day, coming home and kind of falling asleep. There's been a few times where I came home at 7:30 and literally took out the dog, went to bed. Didn't even eat dinner. Was just so tired. So, but that is also what today's basically YouTube day. Oh, thank you. That's really sweet of you. All right, so let's check out the medium size now. I'm really happy to have these. I feel like these templates are going to make such a difference for me. All right, so the medium is 7 inches. So we got an extra 1/2 inch on length, which I guess that seems, no, that's right. Okay, wow. I didn't notice it was that different. All right, and let's see what I wonder if this is going to be the 3 by 7, like the top. All right, no, it's not. I wonder who came up with 3 by 7, because I haven't seen that yet. And the bigger one's obviously not going to be, because it's going to be even larger. But this is like 4.75. Okay. Interesting. No, I'm sorry, not 4.75. I was like, totally that's not how we do this. That's not how we read a ruler. 3.75. So it's saying the width is the same, but obviously it isn't. So I must have counted wrong or measured wrong. Let me try this again. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing okay. I think so you don't have to. Okay. Funny. I overthink, so I don't know about that. 3. Oh, this is 3.5. So 3.5, and this is 3.75. All right. So the middle version is basically you get like 1/4 inch length and 1/4 inch width longer. Now, I'm really curious about the biggest measurements. But yeah, no 3 by 7. Okay. One more, and then we're going to cut these out, and then we are going to practice. I'll tell you guys the different things I came up with. Maybe you guys can tell me what you'd like to see first, and then we'll get all the materials out. I wanted to show you what I have set up here, but like I said, I'm afraid to move. I guess I'm going to need to buy a new ring stand, so I get paid on Monday. Hopefully I can put that in my paycheck budget, so I can just budget for it, buy a stand, and then it doesn't come out of any extra money. So the large is actually, Okay, we got 2/16, which is 1/8. It's kind of a random number. So it's 7 1/8 inch wide. So you just basically get like another 1/8 of an inch from the medium. And lengthwise, we have 4. It's like perfectly 4. So that's funny. Oh no, still. I was like, oh wait, there's that 4x7, but that was 3x7. Okay. And I should note that actually, the 4 inches includes this part down here. So let me take that off. I'm glad I made a line because that doesn't include the envelope. The actual envelope without those is 3.75. And they basically left 0.25 extra for the holes, 3.75. And I didn't even do that with these because they punched right through the whole envelope. They didn't do extra. So that's another different way of doing them, is leaving extra for the holes versus punching right in the envelope. Which, if you punch in the envelope, something I found is if your money slides down or your budget sheet slides down, it totally blocks all those holes. That's not what we want. All right, fun. Now, shall we break out the paper cutter? Cut these templates, and here, I'm going to read you guys, where's my notebook, the different ways I have looked into how to make envelopes. So if there's one version that you guys are interested in, oh, you've been trying to make envelopes, Renee? That's cool. Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. There's like a lot of legwork to figure it out. That's why I thought maybe someone will be like looking and think, okay, but I got the rambling of something. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I don't have any moderators yet, so. Okay. Let me get my paper cutter. We're going to put this back. So you guys, I just have this like standard Fiskars paper cutter. I'm not a fan of it. I think maybe the wider one would be better. I'm just wondering, like, maybe I should have got a guillotine one, but you know, I use it for work, so eventually I can hopefully budget a better one for here, and I'll just bring this into work because I always need this stuff for work anyway, but we're just making do with what we have for now, because I didn't want to spend too much extra money. So what we're going to do is I'm going to cut out my templates next, and then let me move some of this stuff. I could bring it in a little closer for you guys. Yeah, it's a task. I am excited because I feel like once I have these templates though, it's going to help me adjust my savings challenges on Canva. So I've made all my savings challenges on Canva. But I always just did the 8x5x11. I just pulled that up. And now that I know, I can I think this is going to make it so much easier for me to like resize them really quick, print them out, and then get them going. Or just make it, actually I don't even have to print them out. Just resize them and put them back up on my Etsy shop in the smaller versions so that they can be downloaded. Because this is really tripping me up more than I'd like to admit. All right, hi if you're just joining. All right, right now we have made, if you're just joining, we've made templates of the 3 different versions of A6, so small, medium, and large, based on what one you have. We're making templates, we're cutting them out, and then we're gonna try. And what I was gonna tell you guys is, and you can, if you have any like votes, the different versions I wanted to try as far as envelopes that I would sell in my shop would be a peekaboo envelope, just a solid front and back. Do a vellum, is that how you say it? Vellum, do a vellum envelope, or do like a mix. So maybe do vellum with like a strip of, you know, something like fun paper. I have a ton of paper, which I'll show you guys. So those, I also thought about lettering. So the other thing I thought about was getting those like chalkboard sticker things that could be just put on the envelope and then you could write it on, selling them blank or making them customized and using Canva to make customized labels that I would then, you know, put into the envelope. So these are all kind of ideas So to start, what would you guys like to see first? Would you guys like to see a peekaboo envelope, a solid envelope, or a vellum? Which again, I don't know if I'm saying that right. A vellum see-through envelope. If you have any votes, vote while I'm cutting the template. Right, so right now we're just going to get these set up. I'm going to line it up to my wire, and then I'm going to cut this down the middle because I didn't line them up, so it's going to be really hard to cut. All right. Oh, peekaboo, peekaboo. Okay, let's do peekaboo. Yeah, because I was actually, I should link these videos I was watching so you guys could watch those ones as well. I'm sure they'll be in my history. But I was watching a YouTuber and she made like all these different versions of peekaboos. She was like kind of having fun with it, and I was like, that looks kind of fun. So I thought it'd be fun to try. I've never tried a peekaboo. Okay. So we got our smallest template and we're doing our medium. Just trying to line it up. I'm really surprised that Riley has not barked yet, you guys, because she is just watching me, and usually when people walk behind my house is when she barks, and she's really, really good right now. I don't know if it's going to last, but Riley actually has to go to the dog specialist this Tuesday. I had to take off work because I have to drive to the specialist who's outside of town to put her back on. I think again, you might have heard this a long time ago. If you watched me like a year or two ago, she used to be on medicine. She has really bad separation anxiety. She has some behavior things. And I've decided I stopped her, but it's not working. So I'm about to take her back to the specialist and get her full blood work, because they always have to do the blood work, and then put her back on her anxiety medicine and separation medicine, because I think she's having a hard time, especially since, you know, I mean, when my ex lived here, she did, I mean, the reality is she did love my ex. It was, you know, it was her other person, so I think maybe she's having a hard time realizing, you know, he's not here anymore or what's going on, but whoops, that literally was a fail. Let me try this again. Okay, so we got large A6. We got medium A6. It's just crazy that there's so many just for one size. So it's kind of like when you buy jeans at the store, you might be a size 8 or a size 10. But depending on what store you go to, you might then become a size 12, you might be a size 6. So I wish they would get universal with sizings. I think it would help. But we can see the difference of small, medium, and large. And our templates. I think peekaboo is the winner. Oh, you said I tried to make a laminate envelope where you cut one page, turn it inside out, and then laminate it again. Yeah, that's what I was going to try. I saw quite a few people do that. And I never knew that the shiny laminate paper, when you cut it open, is matte inside, because I love matte laminate paper. I really like the look. These are matte finish, so especially when you're filming, it doesn't have that glare from the ring light. But I was blown away when I was watching someone do what you just said about flipping it over. They were like, it's matte inside. I'm like, I didn't know shiny laminate paper. I mean, I guess it doesn't melt, so it's not, you know, it's not really helpful. Okay, you guys. So peekaboo, which means we got to pull out some paper, and let me grab that. Let's see here. So I have been collecting paper, and some of this I bought in like years ago, because again, I'm an OT, I'm in pediatrics, so I make stuff with my kids all the time. So this is just stuff I've bought in over the years. Like every holiday, me and my kids will make like snowflakes and stuff for my office. So I have a ton of this sparkly cardstock. And I also eventually discovered they had it in big format. So this again, I think I bought like last year, because I remember I think I tried to make an envelope with this. So different sparkles with this. You can kind of see the colors. I don't think they're all available. And then this was another one I bought because last year we started making these huge snowflakes to hang in the office. Like me and the kids would do that for fine motor, handwork, fine motor work. But this is all just like sparkly. I think you guys can see it okay. Yeah. Sparkly printed paper. So these are all of our choices. So I guess this one was, I always love this one. So yeah, different ones, even some like nice, very, I like black sometimes. It's like a sophisticated, but it's got a little shimmer. So I feel like this with the right labeling or coloring or font would look pretty nice, I think. A little sophisticated. And then I have these. So these are the same, but they have, instead of just being solid, they have patterns. And these I'm super excited about. I am planning on using most of this paper to do envelope challenge boxes or little mini envelopes. So just fun paper. So apparently it's hard to flip upside down. Sorry. Let me see if I can try it here. This is a better way. I'm like, that is not working. You guys don't need to see it that way. So we have this like leopard print kind of thing, or I don't know, animal print. There's just some shiny flowers. There is, this one I thought was super pretty. These like kind of small little wildflowers. That would be really cute. Again, I think that this paper would make the cutest little savings challenge box, like those mini envelopes, like 100 savings challenge or 50 savings challenge. These would be the cutest to have in there. So I had to get these. These are on sale as well, but I have these sitting here. This just kind of, again, just little fun designs, some color. We have blue. There's some rainbows, but they're not like rainbows. They're just rainbow shaped, basically. Those, again, just kind of cute. More of those flowers, which checkers. So again, and then there's like a smiley face set. And just some flowers. All right, so we have that paper. So these are the shiny papers, but I don't know. So I guess we could try shiny for the peekaboo, and we have tons of, or we have this monster thing that you would not believe. This was $22. I got this for $7. So I use the cat, you know how I give myself miscellaneous money, like each paycheck I'll leave like a 20 miscellaneous. This is what my last miscellaneous went to, or not my last, but I can't remember when, like this paycheck or last paycheck. But I was like, I could not believe $7. I was like, I'll probably never find this 60 pages, this big of a thing. The sale was like insane. So it was like 40% off, and then I got some extra discounts. So yeah, this has, and I haven't even opened it yet. But I was like, I think this is worth spending some of my cash in my wallet for, because it'll make, so I think this will be the better paper maybe for envelopes, but some fun designs. It's like not working. All right, let's go ahead and get this going. So we're gonna do peekaboo, and I think maybe we'll start with this, because I think the one with the cardstock, the glitter stuff, is sometimes it doesn't seal well, and I would like to play around with that, but this might be our safer bet for today. Okay, and I kind of know which one I want to try because I've been looking at these papers, but let's move you on the way really quick. And oh my gosh, this thing was seriously taped together. I don't even think I realized. This is like opening a whole package. I guess that makes sense though, because you wouldn't want someone to steal paper out of it and just stuff like that. Ooh, that was intense. Okay. Let me show you what I made for this. So I'm wondering, I made 3 vellum things. So we're going to do peekaboo. I might try to do, if we're going to do peekaboo, I think I'm going to try to do the vellum version where I just cut out around the label so the vellum kind of gives it a background. So that will be, we'll make this my, I wanted a receipts envelope to put receipts in, especially because on my receipt, you know, I have basically a sole proprietor for 2 jobs now, so I pretty much collect all my receipts. Anyway, it's got like tiger print, just fun designs. They're like worn, they're kind of vintagey looking, which I thought, I like that one. I thought it'd be kind of cool. I'm kind of like a vintage kind of girl, so I think that's why I just even like these like vintage. I'm not always the hugest fan of flowers, although I think like this reminds me of like vintage wallpaper. So yeah, so cool designs. There's like a whole array of colors. I think I love that too, that it's like a whole color palette, as you can see. So, oh, this one, Does anybody, oh, where did I get the vellum paper? I got it from, where did I get it? So last Saturday, I went on a store tour because I was trying to figure out the best price for everything I might need. Because I'm like that. I'll spend like days price comparing before I make a purchase. And I think I had looked on Amazon, then I went to like all the stores in my area. I believe I finally found the vellum paper the cheapest. I think I got this from Michael's, and it was a pack of 40 for $7, and that was pretty comparable to what I had seen. So I bought it, and yeah, but I think I've since found on Amazon that if you like kind of match the what's being offered, like the amount plus the pricing, you can kind of figure out. No, I'm not an artist, actually. Okay, so do you guys have like a color preference? So like I said, we got a whole color thing here. So any like oranges, reds, blues, maybe a darker color. There's some pretty cool dark patterns. Any, I'll take like the first answer. What should we make our peekaboo? I'd be curious with the peekaboo with the, oh, that wasn't bad, the 40 for, oh, purple. Okay, let's do purple. It's funny because purple has become like my new favorite color for some reason, so I like how you think. That's good. Okay, so purple. Let's see. Oh, that one was kind of cool. So it looks like there's several sheets. What do you guys, look at that. It's like purple and like a green blend. It's, again, it's very like vintage. Oh, it doesn't come through very well. It's very like vintagey wallpaper. Oh, how about we do this? It's like cute little vintage polka dots, I think. Yes. So we're going to make a peekaboo with this paper. And the first thing I'm going to do is cut it into the dimensions. Okay, good. You like it? Yeah, I like this one. Oh, the flower one too. Okay, these will all be used and turned into envelopes. So stay tuned. I'm going to put this monster back because it's like huge. I just put it on the floor for now because knowing me, I'll probably spill and drop everything if I try to put it back on camera. So we're going to just avoid that. I'll just trip over it instead when I go to clean up, which is something else I would do. All right. So I want to do it for my receipts. I'm thinking, I don't know what size to start with. Maybe start with, I think the small is like every day. I think I'll go for medium because sometimes receipts tend to be long, and I feel like the medium would still fit nicely in my wallet, but would be a little bit more room for receipts. But I've been needing this because I like shove my receipts in my wallet, and I think that's part of why my wallet is breaking. It's like, can't handle it. Okay, so we are measuring 7 by 3.5. I'm going to take this. And I want to, let me just measure, this paper is like 11, so by 11, right? Let me look at that. So that's unfortunate math because this paper is 12 by 12 and I need at least 7. And I'm thinking I'm going to end up with paper waste, which is kind of a bummer. But let's see what happens. So we're going to take it out to 7. I'm like super nervous to do this because, again, it's the like you're sitting in front of the class thing. Let's see. So we'll do our first 7-inch cut. All right. So this is basically the length of the envelope, and then we're going to cut 3. So if it's 12, we should get 3. We should maybe get 3 out of this. So 3.75, which is so unfortunate that the 3 is like right here on the, it's on the part that's folds. But we got 1, 2, I think that's 3, and then 4. So I think I could still figure it out. We can do this, okay? So I have 1, 2, I think 375 is literally right there. Yeah, it's actually right on the edge, I think. You know what I should do? I should, before I even try to slice that, I'm going to take my template and make sure it lines up. I mean, that's why I made it. Okay. I'm going to use my template because, all right, right there. We're doing peekaboo, so I'm thinking, again, we have multiple choices, right? There's so many options with envelopes. We could have a back that's colored and then the peekaboo in front, or we could have the clear back, but I think I like the idea of the back all covered and then a peekaboo front. This should be about right. Okay. So 3.75 is definitely right there. And then 3.75. All right, so we got 3, and I'm only going to do this with 1. Oh, you know what I have? Let me show you guys. Something I have is, it's over here. I made this little try again drawer because when I was doing the dollars, since they were front and back, I had a couple that I messed up one side but not the other. But I figured I'll probably eventually mess up some fronts and have good backs. So just to save, I started this try again drawer. So anything that like I don't need, but I'll probably need at some point is gonna go in here. So since we're just making one to start, we have an extra, so I'll throw it in the try again. Again, we'll put it on the floor so I can trip over it later. All right, we got our back and our front. And we're doing peekaboo. Oh yeah, I used my template, right? That's why I made it. Okay. I'm thinking, so we can do, you guys weigh in. Do you want me to do a corner cut? Do you want to do like a bottom peekaboo, a top peekaboo, a diagonal peekaboo? Any thoughts? And I'm going to drink some water. Let's see. Whoever says it first will do. What type of peekaboo should we try? I'm going to go grab my water while you guys think about that because I'm like really thirsty and I didn't bring water. So I'm going to go grab water. So peekaboo, corner cut, bottom peek, top peek. Or we could do even half and half. What do you guys think? I'll be right back. I just like legit brought my whole water thing. Half and half. Yeah, let's do half and half. Oh, and diagonal. Like, could we merge those two? Maybe we could try one of each because if I cut it in half and half, Okay. The diagonal thing is interesting because the one thing this Fiskars is missing is the diagonal lines to cut. I think the more expensive version of this Fiskars paper cutter has it. This is like the mid version. So I need to get my trash can. Alright. I think as we pick, Renee, we picked your color. We'll go with Yvette's idea, which is half and half. So 7, so half of 7 is 3.5. That's that like high school math kicking in. Okay, 3.5. Again, how do I? Oh, 3.5 would be right here, I think. I think I was measuring those to there. Man, it's so unfortunate the number I need happens to be on this fold out part because it's like the hardest to read. The 3.5, so that would be the big line, which I think is... I really don't know about this paper cutter. So that's 3. I think that's 3.5 right there. I just feel like, isn't that what I was using for my half mark? But it doesn't have to be perfect. That's why this is the trial. This is the trial and error episode. I just figured we'd play around. All right. So we'll end up, and that is like, with a peekaboo, half and half. Okay. Let's put this paper outside. Oh, Riley just showed up, you guys, but can you see her? Riley, everybody wants to see you. Come here. Here. Up. Come up. 1, 2, 3, up. Come up. Come on, Desai. Oh, and she might bark, you guys. Hello. I went ahead and closed the blinds so she couldn't see outside. Oh, here she is. Okay. Where were we? I got totally sidetracked by my dog. Okay, so now we have to get the laminating paper. So the first method I saw was that you take a thing of 3mm laminating paper. You can cut it to... Oh, I gotta cut it to size, so let's go do that again. Okay, let me grab the laminating paper. We're gonna do 3mm. We're gonna cut it, flip it to make the pocket, and then laminate all of those together like a sandwich into another 3mm. Trim that, and then run it through again through a 5mm, which will make it extra sturdy. So first is 3mm. Let me grab that. I'm seeing a flaw in my plan that everything that I'm using and putting on the floor is literally in the path of everything I need, so it's not... Oh wait, this is matte. So okay, this is my... I thought I had more matte paper. All right, this is the... Oh, wait, here's a shiny. Cool. All right, let's put this back here for now. Paper cutter. Okay, so I'm basically going to do the same thing. I'm going to make a cover for these. And if I look confused, it's because I am, because I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, don't forget the laminate on top. Yeah. I am trying so hard to remember. No, I want them both full size. I was like, no, I don't want to make it short because then we're going to end up with like a hole. We want to make it, so the laminate's both going to be this size, so it'll be half paper, half clear. I have like 10 different videos running through my head. Anyway, something really cool I saw somebody do. And her video, she did like this whole vellum video. Again, all these people that I kind of looked at, once this live like just posts as a regular video, I'll put all these different YouTubers' videos in the description box if you guys want to watch them, because there were so many. Anyway, this, I think her name was Stuff Like This. I've started watching her a lot. But she showed how when you're doing this, you want to cut, you know, because the laminate paper always has the closed edge. She trimmed that off to get started, so she just had like 2 sheets. I was like, that's really smart. So simple, yet so smart. So that was stuff like Liz. I will put her below because her vellum video really helped me figure out how to do these. So let's just trim the top. And now we should have 2 separate sheets of laminating paper. And what? Okay, we're like over an hour into this live, you guys. I'm sorry, it's kind of taking forever. And now I know why I'm getting Alright, so now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to trim this to size, which again was 7 by 3.25, and I think I'll just keep them together and just do them both at once because, I mean, this does pretty good. This paper cutter does do good cutting multiple sheets. I will give it that. All right, and now I always save these scraps because I feel like they'll come in handy. And then we're gonna do 3.75 a couple times. We got 1. And then might 3.75. All right, perfect. So I'm gonna put this back, grab my laminator and turn it on. I'm going to rearrange stuff right here because I'll put my laminator here. So let me do that real quick. All right, so this will go here nicely. Sorry guys, I'm off camera. You're about to see me though because I need to plug it in and my plug-in is on this side. All right. So basically what we have is we have our sheets and you can feel the difference with the shiny and the matte. So these are definitely the shiny side, so I'm going to put those together so that they don't, that's going to create my pocket. And then I'm going to have, I think with the peekaboo I want the like front of the paper peeking through on the inside. I think that might look cute, so I'm going to do 1 on the front. 1, so if I want it this way, I think we'll do peekaboo to the right. So that's like the sandwich. Now we need another sheet of, this is 3mm, so I'm going to start it warming up to 3mm, and let me grab another, I forgot that I grabbed the wrong laminating paper. Let me get another 3mm shiny and a So I have a whole, I bought this like last year for work, and man is it coming in handy now. I never used it, but now I definitely need it. Also, you guys, again, I love a sale. I have been holding off buying 5mm paper because it's so expensive. Office Max had 125 pack on sale for like 20. Well, I think it was 52 and I got it for 20. So like, no, 26. So I think it was like $26 off or something. I'm like, well, I don't know if I'll ever find that deal again. So I did buy it. But again, I use it for work. So, I mean, I can use it for work. Okay. Oh yeah, don't forget to turn the laminator on. Yes, that is actually something I would forget. That's very true. Okay, I really want to produce an envelope, and then I think from here, yeah, there's so much stuff to do. If you guys like this, maybe I'll do it again and we can have different themes, because I think I didn't even get to A7. Didn't get to like denomination sheets, all that stuff. And wow, this stuff is so much thicker. You can really feel the difference with the 5mm. Wow. I don't think I've ever used 5mm before. We'll get that one ready. All right, so now we have our 3mm shiny. So again, this, you know, I could choose to do matte finish, but since I'm gonna run it through a 5mm shiny, that's just not gonna do anything. And I think because we're only doing one, I'd like to save the sheet, so I might just cut off. I'll just do scissors. I just realized I might regret this. No, I mean the holes are built in. Okay, let's see if we can save that. That was like the worst cut ever. Okay, so this, when we run it through, should merge. I'm gonna put it on so it's kind of all extra paper around all sides. My laminating machine is ready. You guys, I just lost you guys on the computer. If you're there, okay. Yeah, it's a task. I could see, like, once you get your groove and you kind of learn where your measurements are, how your paper should look, and you kind of figure out your system, right? It probably goes a lot faster. Actually, I was watching another YouTuber. I wish I should have wrote her name down. Never really seen her before until last night, but I'm going to definitely watch her more. But she had like a whole assembly line. She had 4 laminating machines going across her office, as she had stacks and stacks of like 100 envelopes, and she would just run them all through. So she was doing like 4 at a time. I was impressed. That was like a 1-woman assembly line. Smart. Like, that is super impressive. All right. Let me make sure this, pay attention, line this up, and then we will put it through. I just put that all together, and then I think this is the other hard part, at least for me, is like getting it all to stay when you put the sheet on. All right, let's just do this already. If you guys hear that noise, that's actually Riley deciding to chew her bone. I don't know if that's going to come through. I don't know how the sound is. If the sound's bad, I'm really sorry. But okay, here we go. Riley. Okay, this is pretty cool. So we're almost halfway through. This laminating machine is kind of meh with speed. I mean, it could be faster, you know. I definitely see if this becomes like a steady thing where I'm like producing a lot of these and selling them a lot and like, you know, making money to put back into the channel, that I would probably invest in a nicer laminating machine that went faster. So this is how it came out, but as you see, it's pretty bubbly. And that is something I've noticed about this laminator, which is making me cry. So I used to have a different laminator and I really loved it, and I bought it for work like years ago, maybe 4 years ago, and it lasted that long. And when I was working on those dollar bills I showed you guys and stuff a couple weekends ago, it died. But I use a laminator for work all the time because I make like visuals and schedules for my patients, and it's just something that's kind of become part of my office stuff. So I had to get another one for work, but I mean, actually that kind of helped a little running it through again. All right, so now we got our first part of it. Let me grab my paper cutter. So the next step is, so again, you get your envelope basics. This would have been also time if you wanted to put a label in, which actually I meant to do and I forgot. I think I'll just add it again to the 5mm thing. But you put your papers together, you take that 3mm that you cut up and you flip it inside out because the shiny stuff won't melt and it will create your pocket. That's your first step. Then you want to cut it out. So let's do that real quick. And actually, now that I don't need the ruler guide, I'm going to turn this the other way because I had to take that bone away from Riley because I don't know if it's coming through on camera, but it's super loud. But you should have seen her face. She was like, I cannot believe you, Mom. but she's got toys there. She needs to make a different choice. All right, let's go ahead and cut this out. And then I'm just gonna, I didn't cut through all the way, but I'm gonna just cut it again anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay. So now we got it down to size, and I left a little bit, but that kind of bubbled, but I'll trim that. I might actually end up making this the bottom, because something I thought about with this measurement is this measurement included the holes right through it, but I might put the holes right under it, because that actually, then I don't have to worry about breaking the seal. So I think I'll leave that so I know that's my bottom guide. So we're gonna cut, I don't know if we need to cut this off yet, actually. I think we can put it through the 5mm to make it sturdy and then cut it all together. I don't know. That's actually, again, trial and error. Oh, the fellows goes quicker. Oh, Tara Budgets. Yeah, that actually sounds familiar. Okay. I definitely watched a couple of hers. I'm going to trim the top off because I just want to see if the pocket worked. And the first, whoa, that was not, this isn't happening right now. I don't know what's happening with the end of this, but I'm like officially messing this up on camera. So there you go. That's the, this is just, this is a trial and error, so you shouldn't feel bad. But it does make a pocket. However, this isn't something I've heard anyone talk about. It made a pocket, but I think as I messed up my cut, it actually unsealed it. So that's something to think about, I think, is maybe you need to, I don't know how I would fix that. That's like a problem solved thing right there. But it is super cute. So where's one of my dollar things? You could just kind of see what it looks like. Say I was going to put my hundreds in there. Then you kind of have the little peekaboo effect. And then what I've seen people do from here is they just laminated it again in 5mm. And then when they did that, they left a little extra because the 5mm is thicker, then they would punch the holes. And I think because we tried it, so this would be like a label-free version, right? We can make like some cute little envelopes, label-free, and you could add your own labels. But let me grab my vellum paper because I do want to try adding a label. But I'm like, oh, here it is. I was like, unfortunately, you guys, I lost my label paper. I don't know which pile on the floor I put it in, but I found it. So this I actually made on Canva. And I saw, oh, thank you, Megan. Oh, thank you, Mara. Thank you. Is that how you say it, Myra? Thank you, guys. Beautifully Me and You. She was like the first budgeter YouTuber I watched. That woman, I think, is brilliant. She makes great stuff. She makes all the budget books, the challenge books. She's a nurse, right? So we're both in the medical field. But I watched a video where she showed how to make these on Canva and how to add guide rulers to your Canva. Changed my life last night. I'd never known about this stuff. So this is thanks to her. Again, I'll link the video that she did on this to show you. But she basically showed how to make guidelines and then stuff like lists. I kind of combined both of their methods together. So these would have been the guidelines I made with the rulers, but they don't print. So something I saw in the stuff like list video is she used a very, very light gray line so that when she went to cut, she could see. And that makes the perfect template for your envelope. So again, if you just want to make a vellum style envelope, Or what I'm gonna, since this is just the peekaboo version, I'm going to cut the receipt's name out. Then I'm probably gonna glue it to the bottom. So let's go ahead and cut this out. And then I don't know what's going on with the lighting. Oh, I'm like, is that the solar eclipse happening? It's like all of a sudden I feel like the lighting here is really, but I thought that was over by now. It's also probably because maybe I made the gray lines too light. They're a little hard to see. But again, for this, I'm just going to cut out the receipt's name and use the vellum as like an effect, right? Like as a, I don't know what, I keep wanting to call it a backdrop, but that's not really what I'm doing here. It's like a border, I don't know. So we'll yeah, I'll show you guys. I'm almost ready. And then I'm really excited to try my website. So again, I have a website, but I need to save money because I have to pay for it. And so I'm saving, but that's my website logo. So I really I kind of added the website logo so I could just start. My idea here was just to start throwing like extra cash in it to help it build up. And then the top was just like a plain label for a vellum envelope. And that would just be my general Eileen Stuffs thing. Because if I'm going to be doing this, then I need to be saving money. And since debt is my priority, right, it's kind of something I've been thinking about that, like, I want to do this, but it can't be like, it needs to be budgeted, essentially. I need to figure it out. Okay, so this is exactly what I kind of was hoping it would look like, is that the vellum would add a little border between the whatever, you know, paper or color was used. I mean, that's kind of cute. It's like giving me like 90s like cut and paste vibes. The other thing I could do without the squares is I could round the corners on the name so it wasn't so squarish. Oh, thank you, Megan. That's really sweet. Hi, George. But this is totally, yeah, it's funny. Do you guys ever notice when you create things, they always end up looking totally your style? Like, this is kind of my style. I'm not going to lie. All right. I have glue dots. I'm going to try to glue dot this to the thing so when I laminate it, it doesn't slip around. I use glue dots for the dollars, the front and backs, and I think the glue just melts in the heat. Also, we got to turn this to 5mm. So let me get a glue dot, turn this to 5mm. We are almost there with our envelope. If you guys decide to try to make these or like anything, even your own money holders, I know these are probably not new, but I recently discovered adhesive dots. And I just found these worked really well because the first run through of the money placeholders I did, because I had front and backs put together, they like shifted and I was really sad. Then I think because these are like so thin, the laminator basically just melts them and you can't really feel them. So let's try that with this. We got, we don't need this anymore. We're gonna dot this down. I'm just curious to see how it would work. Again, this is trial and error, so this is kind of my play day. But I'm like in it now. I'm like, I think I have to like go to the store. I have to go pick up some stuff. Probably need to take my dog for a walk, and I think I'm probably gonna be here all. Oh, I have to film a YouTube video for tomorrow, which I haven't done yet. Which is gonna be a financial audit on myself, which I'm a little scared to do, but I think it has to be done. I really need to pay more attention to my miscellaneous money because sometimes I think like that $150, $200 I do every paycheck is miscellaneous, which I like having, but it was really kind of in case of emergency miscellaneous, and the goal was to have budgeted, and I think I'm using it more of a, I have money in the bank, I'll just go buy coffee, right? It's kind of still where I'm struggling with my budgeting. I think in some ways I'm doing a lot better, but I'm definitely still struggling in other ways, so the financial audit video I think will be fun to film tonight and then I should be able to get it to you guys by 7, my usual 7 time, but anyway. Oh, I'm like, why am I talking about that? Oh, I'm rambling because I thought, long story short, I gotta get that stuff out of the way and I'll probably be here all night playing around with envelopes because it would be super fun to have for sale. And I'm gonna, like I said, I'm really about like affordability. So I'm going to try to make these reasonably priced. You know, I want you guys to get, I'm all about like getting the most bang for your buck. I grew up, my mom raised me that way. That's just how we are. So I don't know. I feel like the stuff is so expensive, but when you buy from YouTubers, you support them, right? So it's kind of a give and take maybe. Let's grab our 5mm paper. Which I'm like, where? Okay. So I didn't notice this, but this is Fellows 5mm laminating paper. Oh, thank you, Megan. Oh, I'm glad you like my shorts. I'm like, I was born in New Jersey, right? So I'm like a Jersey girl. I've kind of got that little sass in me. And so sometimes I'm like, do I pick like too sassy of songs? But I kind of like the mix of like the budgeting with like the sassy songs. So I'm glad you like them. They're always fun to make. Anyway, something I noticed is if you can see, they literally have their image all over this laminating paper. Oh, you can't really see on camera. I'm really hoping that doesn't show through. Okay. We are doing our finishing touch. I think I'm going to do it upside down so it kind of pushes, hopefully, like helps flatten it since this is the open side. I don't know if aerodynamically going the other way would push air in, but I'm thinking it's better to push air out, right? Sounds about right to me. Okay, we got to get this going. So let me get my 5mm. We're ready to go. I've never laminated a 5mm paper before. We got our name in there. All right, here we go. I'm assuming when you laminate it, the label, their branding will disappear. I really hope so. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's funny because it's been like an hour and a half now that we've been doing this, which is insane. And I literally thought that this would be like a 20-minute live. I would do, so I guess that kind of says to how much I'm talking, but this also speaks to there's so much to talk about and think about and consider when you're making, especially cash envelopes. You got to think about size. You got to think about the way that you want. You have to think about, if you didn't, you're probably going to do good on laminating it. Yeah. So the one thing I just saw is this looks great. The adhesive dots, no, they're not going to work, because if you guys can see, for some reason with this, maybe it's because it's vellum, the dot. I'm making notes of all my things today because that's, again, so kind of why I did this. All right, so this looks very nice though, the 5mm. So we're pretty much done. I'm going to grab my paper cutter again. And I'm also hoping maybe the reseal helps seal. When I first cut the 3mm, remember how I showed you I cut it, I messed up the cutting so it opened it up. I'm hoping the reseal will seal it back together as well. But we should still have that pocket. Okay. The other thing is I'm going to leave about, so something I noticed with my, everything's a mess now, but my template, my large template, oh, here it is. I am going to use the large template as far as, they left like 1/4 of an inch for the hole punches from the envelope. So I'm going to do that same method. And I also like it because you can, I don't know if you guys can see this. And unfortunately there's like a 5-second lag, but there is like the lines, the seal lines. So I think also giving it some extra will help keep it together, but no dots. So that's going to be a no-go. All right. So I'm going to give myself a 1/4 inch. So how I'm doing this measurement. Ooh, I just totally stabbed myself with the paper. How I'm doing this measurement is I'm going to pull, so it does have like the 1, 2 this way. So at first I was using the ruler, but now what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this edge up a 1/4 inch and then slice. But let's not try to slice, I ain't trying to slice my finger again. Luckily it didn't bleed, but okay. So it's hard to see, but you have the bottom and then you have extra. And I'm probably going to run it through the laminator again to see if I could seal those bubbles, because I'm kind of thinking this Scotch one is probably going to go to work. I'll use it at work. and I'll have to budget and save for a better laminator. So if you guys know of any good laminators, oh yeah, I'm looking. The Dotson Baby Blue. Oh yeah, those would look nice. Hi, paint with me. Okay, so let's, I'm gonna cut this. I'm gonna try to leave some plastic on the top, but cut where I see the seal breaks, because I'm hoping, yes, yay, it worked. So I left a little bit of plastic on top where I could see the seal broke, but I wanted to leave enough just to keep the, you can still get in the pocket, but it kind of gives you a buffer. And then let's do the sides. And I'm just eyeballing this right now. I'm just going to be honest. Okay, so that is the finished envelope. We did a peekaboo style with a vellum. Does anybody know what it's called when you have font and then you put like the backdrop on, like a border? Is that what it's called? But it actually looks pretty cute. So it was really fun to try it live. Yeah. Can you guys see? There's such a lag. I'm holding it up still because there we go. Yeah, pretty cute. I do have a corner cutter. And the next thing we're going to experiment with, maybe the last thing for today, is going to be, can I use my cinch as an A6 hole punch? So that's the last thing I wanted to try. And then from there, tell me what you guys think about, well, wait till we're done. So that way you can kind of get the full effect with the corner cuts and everything. Let me go grab, again, I wish I could move my phone, but I'm so afraid if I touch that stand, it's gonna fall over. So we're gonna leave it. I'm gonna grab my corner cutter and the cinch. Put this baby back. Corner cutter. And this monstrous cinch. Bookbinding. I basically love books. I have my whole life, so this was like, I think I might have told you guys I got it with a gift card. So my mom has pretty much taken to giving me Amazon gift cards for almost every birthday and Christmas now. So when I end up with this, that's kind of how I've been buying some of this stuff, right? Is I'll have like a gift card from my mom. Sometimes I use cash, or I have to fill in, but sometimes I just save them. I'm definitely going to start saving them now for supplies. I think I've decided that. Okay, corner cutter. So I left my paper. This is not from me. I need to grab water real quick. Let me see what you get. Okay. There is a woman, I don't know, hopefully I'll say her name right, G. Paperty. Again, I'll link her YouTube channel, and she has a website. I think she's a crafting YouTuber. I found her because I was YouTube like Googling, can you use the cinch to use as a 6-hole punch? Because I mean, it's basically a 12-hole punch. And with the cinch, if you guys aren't familiar with this, what you do is anything that you pull out won't punch. So for example, let me grab a piece of paper. If I was to like, I think you kind of line it up. This part I haven't learned how to use. Anyway, I'm just going to punch. So you can see I've taken out 3 holes. So those holes, when I cinch down, as you can see, so there's a couple things about the cinch. 1, I haven't played around with it enough. 2, I kind of suck at it. And 3, as you can see, I was totally uneven. So if you guys have seen that little, these are some of the things I have to figure out. But even though I made that mistake, you can see the 3 pegs I pulled out, they skipped. So knowing this woman, G Papeterie, and again, I will link her stuff in the video. But she made this hole punch setting sheet. She made it free to download, and it's basically a guide for how to use your cinch, what holes to pinch, where to put the ruler to make A5, A6, pocket mini. So I'm hoping if I can figure this out, then I can just use this. But if not, I mean, also because you can do 20 pages at a time on this. If not, I might have to, I'm just trying not to buy too much stuff, right? So I was hoping I could figure this out. But hopefully we won't mess up our envelope. This is just for me. All right, so this is A6. So essentially she has 2 steps for A6. The first round you move, so this is I think you guys can see this okay. Wait, there's a lag, so I'm just gonna wait a second, and I think my lag is literally like almost 15 seconds behind. Okay. So you can move this out to help you guide the paper. It goes out to 13 inches or... So what she says is for the first round on an A6, I'm gonna have to stand up for this. I'm like getting serious right now. Like we're getting serious. Okay. A6, the first round I need to move the guide out to 1.1875. Like, that's really specific. So this is 1, it's lined up on 1, so 1.1875. So it's a little bit under 1 1/4. So it might be either this one or this one maybe. Let's try it. Okay. And then she says you have to push in. So you have to start with all the pins out because we're only pushing in a few at a time. So we have to put in 1, 4, 7, and 10 for the first round. So we have 1, 4, 7, and 10. Okay. I really like, the more I look at this, other than the dot that ruined it, the more I like this baby. So let's make sure we don't mess it up. This time I'm trying to make sure it's flush. And we are going to push down. And as you can see, we have the first 3 holes. So now what we have to do is the second step is we're going to move this out to, man, these it's kind of unfortunate these are such weird numbers, but the next one is 1.4375, which is basically just under 1 1/2. I'm basically thinking I might have messed up. So 1.125 was there. And then 1.43, so we're almost going to 1 1/2, but we're not. Since I did like 2 lines before the thing, I'm going to switch it. But then, now we need to put in, oh, I see what I did. I mixed up the measurements with the pins, so I'm just going to do, so that's okay. Again, trial and error. Hopefully with the switch it'll be right. I think, no, that was right. I'm getting, okay, so 2 and 8. This is like so hard to do upside down. This is not, okay, so we got, wait, I'm like, what is happening here? So go in, 2 go in, and 8 go in. Okay. Now I'm trying to remember. So I must have missed a hole because I only have 3 and I should have 4. I'm going to go back to 1.87 and try that again. So 1, 4, 7, 10. One of them must have not have been pushed in all the way. This is where I might mess up. Please just, okay, well, yeah, I totally messed that up. but that's why we're doing this. Luckily, I can just trim that off and re-laminate it and try again, but this will have to go into the try again pile for sure. Man, so this is, I don't know, this is kind of hard. I'm kind of wondering if maybe it's worth the money just to buy a 6-hole punch, because as much as I wanted to use what I have and not spend any more money, like legit, if I end up having to redo 5mm laminating paper because I messed up the holes, like, am I really saving money? So that's, I think I could get a 6-hole punch like $15. So maybe, well, I'll be budgeting again next week because my paycheck is on the 15th. So you might see me try to budget a 6-hole punch. Because this is gonna slow me down, and I gotta, I'm trying to accomplish some stuff here. All right, so we got 1.375. I'm sorry, 1.43, which is just under 1.5. And so basically, I couldn't. Then you would do 2 and 8, but I'm pretty sure this is gonna not come out at all like we want. The goal was, when you did that, you ended up with 3 on one side and 3 on the other. So as we can see, I totally messed this part up. So, I mean, this might be a no-go here. I'm kind of bummed though, because I really wanted this to work. And I just realized I should have just did it on paper first before I did my envelope. So let's try one more time, because I don't want to give up. I want to try again. Okay, so 1.18. So again, I'm going to start with all of the pegs pinched out on the cinch. I don't know why it just occurred to me to practice on paper before I did my envelope, but... Oh, Jennifer Maker. Oh, the Canva and the Cricut. Okay, I have Canva. I will watch her because I'm kind of getting into the Cricut. That's obviously going to be something that won't happen for a long time, but it seems like it can do so much. So yeah, I'll watch her. Jennifer Maker. Okay. We're going to try this one more time just to see if we can do it, and then we might have maybe say goodbye. So we start at 1.185, which is just under 1 1/4. So I don't know. I'm just going to do it to this one, I guess. And then we pinch out 1, 4, 7, and 10. So we have 1. Oh, again, sorry, I'm upside down. We have 1, 4, 7, 10. Okay. Here's hoping we end up with what we're supposed to. Why? There's like a hole that I'm not putting in right. What is going on? I think it's the one hole for some reason. Oh, there you go. Also, I forgot this has a pin lock on the cinch. Once you pick your hole, you can lock the paper down. I totally forgot about that. All right, I'm going to see. It's that one that I didn't put in right away. This machine is a lot harder than I thought it would be. So it ends up looking like this. Okay, so then, yeah. So then you go to 1.437, which is just under 1.5. But such an odd measurement. And then we put out punch in 2 and 8. And I think she flipped the paper, but I honestly don't. And please look like an A. Okay, look, that worked. Okay, we got our A6. So that's cool. Maybe it's not. So it is possible to do this. A couple things. You can see how messy it punched through. There's like shavings, and also mine is square. So I don't know. All right. So that was the cinch. I did use it. Let me show. I think you guys have probably seen this, but I have it over here. When I put all my little savings challenges that I had been working on that were loose leaf paper, when I put it here, then this is what I use. So I punched all the square holes and then I binded. But okay, you guys, so I think it's been quite a while. I might say goodbye for now, but this was super fun, and it looks like my computer froze, so I really hope I haven't froze on the live, because that would be sad. Let me see if I can, am I still live or did I get kicked off? Yeah, the hole punch, Renee, is going to be so much easier. Yeah, I agree with you guys. Okay. So I can't, I froze, but I can't tell if I froze or if I've totally froze. So I think I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this live. We'll have my regular video tomorrow. Thank you for hanging out with me to talk about envelopes and all the stuff that goes with making envelopes. As we see, it's a huge process. And hopefully we'll end up with something like this in my shop soon. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Oh, hey you guys, I just realized I totally froze. So I think you can see me now. That's quite a bummer. Is it back? So I don't know at what, I think you guys can see me. I don't know at what point I froze. I think you guys saw me finish the hole punch, hopefully, where I was able to get the 6-hole punch. So, but you might have missed everything I said, so I'm just going to say it again. I was basically saying, I thank you so much, you guys, for watching. This was fun. I've never done this before, but I think it was really cool to kind of, I'll even move this back a little, kind of show you the process of what is all involved with actually creating something like this. So as we see, there's a lot of steps to it, and there's a lot to think about, a lot to consider. For sure, I think I'm going to play around a little bit more. Definitely, right, I agree with you guys that the 6-hole punch is up. You can get Riley's coming down the stairs. The 6-hole punch is just going to be worth the $15-20 bucks. So I think I'll try to budget for that, because I really love this thing and want to use it, but it's just not, I don't want to mess up my envelopes. I mean, but yeah, so much is involved. Also, if you do this, glue dots are a no. They're a no-go. The glue dots will show through vellum, so don't try the glue dot to secure your stuff to your envelope. If you guys are interested in the template I made with the A6 sizes, let me know. As like I said, I do have, can you say hot soul, please? Polar Ice, I don't see what you're saying. Are you asking me to say hi, or? I just lost my train of thought. Okay. Like I said, I do have a website. It'll be linked below, but I can I can see if I can put down, actually I could probably in the article section, just put that there. I'll have to find out from the person I'll have to find out from my web person if we can start adding PDFs. So maybe we could just put a free PDF of the templates that I made today that you could print out, so you could have like your large, medium, and smaller A6s to work with. But so much to think about, right? Papers and laminate. The other type of laminating paper I didn't talk about, they actually make dry erase laminating paper, which is literally made as dry erase things. So I want to order some of that, because I really want to make the reusable denomination pages and reusable little bank slips. But dry erase, right? So the fact that they have dry erase laminate paper just means I feel like it's going to be better with those markers. It won't like create that film or that like leftover behind color. So a ton of stuff. So many different options, but I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me as we kind of learn and play and grow. Yeah, my mission, I think, is to try to get my first shop launch. I want to say November 1st. That gives me 2 weeks. let's say November 1st through the 15th would be my ideal window for my first shop launch, which I will have. Like I showed you the money placeholders I was making, hopefully some different kinds of envelopes and some reusable like denomination pages and stuff, just to get started, just to see how it goes. But thank you guys so much for watching. I've never done this before. My goal was that 10 people would watch, which you know is a small goal, but I did see that at one point there was 10, so I was like, I made my goal for my first live. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I thank you guys so much for watching, and I will be filming my video tomorrow. We will be doing a financial audit on myself because, come on, what am I doing with my miscellaneous money, right? We're going to figure that out. So I'm going to go to the store and take a break and then film that and edit that tonight for you guys. But again, you guys, I just appreciate you guys so much. I thank you so much for watching. Hopefully we'll have some peekaboo envelopes on the shop soon. And I will see you in my next video. Bye. Oh wait, I'll give you guys, right before I hang up, there's Riley. Because I had to pull my phone off. But hey Riley, say bye. We're all done.